Have you ever noticed how just one rushed or uncentered morning can throw off your whole day? You start out a little scattered, and somehow everything else feels harder. Meals get skipped, calls get postponed, and suddenly it's dinner time, and you're wondering where the day went. That feeling of drifting, of time slipping through your fingers, isn't just frustrating. For many older women, especially those living alone or adjusting to retirement, it can lead to something deeper. A sense of disconnection, a loss of rhythm, a quiet ache for structure and purpose. But here's the truth. The way we start our mornings carries real power, more than we often give it credit for. This isn't about waking up at 5 a.m. or forcing yourself into a cold shower. It's not about strict discipline or copying someone else's schedule. It's about creating small, steady habits that give your day an anchor, something soft, but strong enough to hold you. And when you do that, the benefits go far beyond just ticking boxes. Today, we're going to explore 3 powerful ways the right morning routine can improve your mental clarity, your physical well-being, and your sense of personal purpose. Let's begin with the first. A calm morning creates clarity and protects you from that foggy, drifting feeling. It sounds simple, but the impact is real. Without a clear rhythm to your morning, it's easy for the day to feel directionless. You might wake up, sip your coffee, check your phone, and suddenly 2 hours have gone by, and you're not quite sure what to do next. This mental fog isn't just an annoyance. According to geriatric psychologists, that sense of drifting can actually heighten feelings of anxiety or mild depression, especially in older adults. Without clear signals to tell the brain the day has begun, our internal rhythms, what doctors call the circadian system, can get disrupted. And when our internal rhythm is off, it doesn't just affect sleep. It can lead to poor focus, lower energy, and even slower digestion. Take Carol, a 72-year-old widow living in Oregon. After her husband passed away, she told her doctor she felt like the days were all blending together. She'd wake up late, skip breakfast, and then spend most mornings in pajamas watching the news. Not because she was lazy, but because she didn't quite know where to begin. Her doctor suggested something gentle. Choose just 3 things to do every morning at the same time. Carol chose a glass of warm lemon water, 5 minutes of stretching, and opening her window blinds to let in the sun. Within 2 weeks, Carol said she felt like her days had shape again. It didn't fix everything, but it was a beginning. And that's the key. When your body and mind know what to expect each morning, even if it's just a quiet routine, it sends a signal. You are safe. You are in motion. You are not stuck. So if your mornings often feel blurry or sluggish, try asking yourself, what 3 gentle signals could I give my brain each day to say, we're starting now? It might be something as simple as music, a candle, or stepping outside for a few breaths of fresh air. The magic isn't in how complex it is, it's in how steady it becomes. Let's move to the second benefit. A morning routine doesn't just wake you up, it helps your whole body function better. The older we get, the more we notice how our bodies respond to rhythm. One day we're full of energy. The next, our joints ache, and we can't quite recall what we walked into the kitchen for. But what many people don't realize is that gentle consistency in the morning can actually support brain health, digestion, and even immune function. Medical research shows that even light movement in the morning, like stretching, slow walking, or yoga, can increase blood flow to the brain. That helps with focus, balance, and memory. A warm drink on an empty stomach can trigger digestion. Sunlight helps regulate melatonin and serotonin, which influence mood and sleep. And when you do all this in a calm, intentional way, your nervous system gets the message. It's okay to relax. You're not in danger. You're supported. Let me share the story of May. She's 67, recently retired, and had been struggling with sleep, joint stiffness, and occasional dizziness in the mornings. Her doctor encouraged her to build a simple morning ritual focused on movement and nourishment. So May began each day by standing barefoot on her porch for just 2 minutes, letting the early sun warm her face. Then she did 10 minutes of gentle seated yoga from a video designed for seniors. Finally, she made herself a small, protein-rich breakfast, usually oatmeal with nuts and a bit of fruit. After a month, May said her body felt less rusty. Her digestion improved. And more importantly, her brain felt more awake, less like she was walking through fog. It didn't happen overnight, but by aligning her body with natural signals, light, movement, food, She gave herself something that pills alone couldn't offer: flow. And this isn't just about being healthy. It's about making your day feel livable again, giving your body what it needs so it can give you clarity, steadiness, and energy in return. Think about your own body. What does it respond well to in the morning? Warmth? Silence? Gentle motion? What's one thing your body might be quietly asking for that you've been overlooking? You don't have to do everything. Just something kind. Now let's turn to the third benefit, one that touches a deeper place. A morning ritual can restore something we often lose over time: a sense of purpose. For many older women, life gradually shifts away from schedules. Children grow up, work responsibilities fade, and while that freedom is beautiful, it can also feel unsettling. Without the anchors we once had, days can feel wide open, but also strangely hollow. This emotional shift is very real. Studies on post-retirement mental health have shown that people without daily structure are more prone to rumination. Those looping thoughts about the past, regrets, or worries about the future. A consistent morning practice, even a small one, can act like a handrail. It gives you something to hold on to when the rest of the day feels uncertain. It reminds you, I am still here. I still choose. And this doesn't have to be anything grand. For many women, meaning is found in the smallest moments. Anna, 74, starts every morning by watering her balcony plants. It takes her 10 minutes. But during those 10 minutes, she greets each flower by name. She notices what's blooming. She breathes. She says it reminds her that life is still happening, that she is part of it. Other women write in journals, pray, sit quietly with tea while watching the birds. The common thread isn't the activity. It's the intention behind it. A gentle, steady morning routine isn't just a habit. It's a quiet declaration. This time is mine. I matter. And when your day begins with that kind of grounding, it becomes easier to face whatever comes next: appointments, errands, difficult conversations, with a steadier heart. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt proud of your morning? Not because you were productive, not because you did 100 things, but because you moved through it with grace. Because you treated it as a gift, instead of just the start of another long day. If that's something you long for, you're not alone. And it's not too late. In fact, the shift begins right here. Because as we've just seen, a meaningful morning can give you mental clarity, physical vitality, and emotional grounding. And in part 2 of this video, we'll go deeper into the emotional resistance that keeps many of us from building these rituals, and the practical ways to gently overcome it, step by step. Now, even if you've heard all of this and thought, yes, that sounds right, you might still feel something holding you back. And that's completely human. Because as comforting as a morning routine sounds in theory, many of us carry quiet resistance. Not out of laziness, not because we don't care, but because habits, even gentle ones, ask us to face things we sometimes don't want to feel. Maybe it's grief that creeps in during the silence. Maybe it's the ache of waking up to an empty house, or the tired voice that whispers, "What's the point?" And those feelings are not failures. They're part of being human, especially in this season of life. So instead of pushing past them, let's talk about them. Because the real heart of this conversation isn't about doing more. It's about reconnecting with yourself and finding small, steady ways to care for that connection. Let's look at what might be standing in the way and how to move through it with compassion. Emotional block number 1. I don't have a reason to get up early anymore. This is something many older women feel, especially after retirement or the loss of a partner. Without a job to go to or children to care for, the urgency disappears. And slowly, mornings lose their shape. But here's the thing. Just because no one's expecting you doesn't mean you don't matter. Just because the house is quiet doesn't mean your day shouldn't begin with purpose. In fact, this stage of life may be the first time you get to craft your mornings completely around what nourishes you. That freedom isn't empty, it's precious. Start small. Instead of thinking, I have to wake up early, try, I get to begin my day in peace. That shift, from obligation to choice, can change everything. You don't need a packed schedule to have a reason to rise. Sometimes the reason is as gentle as, I want to feel well today. And that's more than enough. Emotional block number 2. I always start strong, but I can't stay consistent. This one is so common. Many women begin a routine with hope. They stretch for a few days, drink their water, maybe journal. But then something disrupts it. A poor night's sleep, a stressful call, a lack of motivation, and suddenly, the whole thing unravels. If that sounds familiar, take heart. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about returning. Think of it like this. When a friend misses lunch with you, you don't stop being friends. You reconnect the next time. Your routine deserves the same grace. You don't have to start over. You just return. One woman I spoke with, Nancy, told me she used to beat herself up whenever she missed a day of her routine. It made her feel like a failure. But now, she's learned to say, today was hard. Let's try again tomorrow. And that shift has helped her stay more consistent, not less. So if you've struggled to stay on track, you're not broken. You're learning a new rhythm. And learning takes time. Emotional block number 3. It's too late for me to start new habits now. This one breaks my heart because it's rooted in a painful misunderstanding. It is never too late. Your brain, your body, your heart, they all remain capable of change, no matter your age. In fact, neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and adapt, continues well into our 80s and beyond. But more importantly, your worth doesn't depend on how long you've had a habit. It depends on how fully you want to live right now. Even the smallest change in your morning can create a ripple. You don't need to redo your life. Just begin with 5 quiet minutes. That alone can shift your whole emotional weather. And every day you choose to start again, even gently, you're sending a message to yourself. I am still growing. I am still here. So how do we actually begin? Without pressure, without guilt, and with real follow-through. Let me offer a few grounded steps that can make this shift feel possible. First, tie your new habit to something you already do. This is called habit stacking, and it's especially helpful for older adults. If you already make tea every morning, add 1 minute of breathing while the water boils. If you always feed your cat first thing, do 3 shoulder rolls right after. This makes the routine feel familiar, not forced. Second, give yourself visual cues. Set a soft reminder on your nightstand. Place your journal where you'll see it. Lay out your walking shoes by the door. Small cues like this help guide your brain without effort. Third, don't aim for impressive. Aim for gentle. A successful morning isn't about achievements. It's about how it makes you feel. Maybe you light a candle and say a few kind words to yourself. Maybe you stand by the window with your hand on your heart. If it helps you feel present, calm, and grounded, it's enough. Fourth, invite your body to help you. Morning routines work best when they're not just in your head. Use your senses. Smell something soothing. Stretch something tight. Drink something warm. Listen to something soft. Let your body know it's being cared for, not rushed, not judged, just supported. And finally, share your experience, even if it's just a comment on a video like this one. When older women talk to each other about these rituals, it creates something powerful, a quiet sense of community, a knowing that we're not alone, that others, too, are trying to rise with care. So I encourage you now, pause and ask yourself, what's one small thing I could do tomorrow morning, just for me? Something quiet, something real, something that helps you feel like the day belongs to you. And if you feel moved to share, I would love to know, what's one part of your current morning that already brings you peace? Or what's one thing you'd like to begin? Scroll down to the comments and share it with us. You never know, your words might inspire someone else who's listening right now, just like you. Because that's the heart of all this. Not perfection, not productivity, but connection. A connection to your own rhythm, a connection to your breath, and a connection to others who are also finding their way, one soft morning at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video spoke to something in you, consider giving it a like or sharing it with a friend who might need this gentle reminder too. And if you'd like to hear more reflections like this, you can subscribe for future videos made with care for women in your season of life. Until then, take good care of yourself, and may your mornings meet you with kindness.